All right, this is your man, Sir Earl, coming to you again. Today is Saturday, August 24th. There are three things that I actually like to acknowledge before I go forward with the podcast. One is I'd love for you guys to join me on social media. Earl Bell is my Facebook account. Sir Earl One is Instagram. Sir Earl's World is my Twitter account. Sir Earl One is my Snapchat. So I definitely go in deep on all my platforms. I also have a blog, which is my website, which they're working on right now to modernize that and kind of give it a new look. So that should be done in about a month. But that's one thing. I want you guys to join me on social media. The second thing is I want to say, give out a prayer for, his name is Bernard Alsbury. Some people know him, some people don't. He's the mayor of Hazel Crest. He's one of my clients. And today they found out, he lost his wife to cancer. They had been married for quite a while, and she was definitely his rock and backbone. She was actually one of our clients also. So, on that matter, it's, let's give out a prayer for him. It's a hard time for him. And also, it should awaken people to the fact that we're not promised tomorrow, so we need to love our loved ones today and definitely let them know that we appreciate them as well as them doing it to us, because none of us are promised tomorrow. There's one guarantee, is that you are going to die. When, we don't know, but we definitely know we're going to go. And I just can't even imagine. I wake up in the morning and I'm thinking about the bills I got to pay or the things that I have to do or even this podcast. But the pain that man feels, I can't even begin to imagine if that was me losing Chie, because with death is final. There's no coming back from it. So whatever you may have wanted to say or do or whatever, you'll never get that chance again. And never is never. You'll never get that chance again. They're gone. They're not coming back. And also, I want to send out some prayers for Chie. She's competing this Thursday, August 28th, in the North American Figure Championship in Pittsburgh. And to win that show, win that class, she'll go pro, which has been our dream for 15, 16 years. And she's really looking great, and there's a great possibility of her doing it. She's been second in the world before, not too long ago, maybe a year ago. She was second in the world. And so that's the type of material that it takes to win a show and go pro. So she definitely has what it takes. We've been working very hard. We leave Tuesday to go down there. So definitely keep her in your prayers and checking the results online, things like that. It's the North American Championship, and her division is figure Class A, and she'll be on stage Thursday, all right? So on to the podcast, everybody. The podcast that I'm doing today, is the name of it is called Do You Have Stinking Thinking? And what that means is stinking thinking is negative thinking. And it's extremely hard to live a positive life if you have a negative mindset. Success to the individual is what success is to the individual. It can include anything, but it's different for everybody. But what it is that, are you giving your all to get to what you consider success and happiness in your life? I've found that with what I've been trying to do, and that's to create a space for myself in fitness that no one has ever seen before. I want to take it to levels that have never been seen before. We have some things coming up that we'll have on the podcast with some people who are surviving things like cancer and losing body parts, and explaining how working out gives them that positive mindset to fight through their difficulties. So yes, we're trainers and people want to get in shape and lose weight, but also we have people that have been through a lot worse, cancer and things, and I'll have them on as guests, and they'll be definitely telling you what it's like to not have stinking thinking, to not think negative. So that's going to be a great feature. I figure with where I'm at, I've had a chance. I've been given a gift to have a voice, and I don't want that voice to be used in a stupid way where I'm talking about things that don't matter. So, on with what I was speaking about is that when I was growing up in the neighborhood that I did, there was no um, there was no success to look at and say I want to be like that. We were taught to survive, and the working man was a sucker because he went to work all day and was still broke. He lived right next door to us, so we like, hey, we hustle all night, and this guy works all day, and he ain't no more better off than us. So we always thought people that worked hard were suckers, and that created the attitude that I don't want to work. I don't ever want to work with anybody. But we never had anybody in our neighborhood, in our families, or anything that owned something or was their own boss. So you had no reference point. Unlike other cultures where an uncle, a friend, or somebody had something that they could say, hey, look, I went into business, I own this, try this. They somewhere in their bloodline, majority of the time, they can find someone that can help guide them and steer them, even if it's mentally. Where I come from, we didn't have that. We didn't have any of that. Nobody ever saw any signs of success. Um, and when you chose to try to be a success, then they would try to pull you down. That's what that's where the saying "crabs in the barrel" comes from. Is that if they don't have it, they don't want you to have it. And it all starts with stinking thinking. It starts with we are programmed at a very early age, and this is just not a black thing. This is a failure thing, a negative thinking thing, is about money. And somewhere in our subconscious, we program ourselves to believe we don't want or need a lot of money. Some people don't, but what you consider a lot and what maybe I consider a lot is two different things. So you may consider, hey, look, my family needs about $100,000 a year. We can have a great life. Well, to me, I feel with the talents I've been given and the ability of the things and the goals that I want to achieve, which is 5 studios, 5 gyms, clothing line, #1 podcast in the country. Those things should be around $400 million, so a year. So that's my goal. That's my financial goal, and it's not for the sake of money. It's for the sake of the journey of fulfilling the gifts and talents in which I've been given. And like I said, success or enough money is different to everybody. And I don't say you need to shoot for my goals, and I don't need to shoot for your goals. We need to shoot for our own goals. But no matter what you want to achieve, your attitude towards accomplishments, aka discipline, will reflect no matter what you're trying to do, whether you're trying to make 100 or whether you're trying to make 400 million. The discipline to achieve the goals that are ahead of you has to be accomplished. And if you're going about your goals and you have stinking thinking, which is negative thinking, then you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. I know people say, hey, look, I love going to church. I love uh, praising the Lord and all the, and that's their thing. Okay, well, when your missionaries go out to another country, do you think they get that for free? Why do you think churches ask for tithing? So they can build a new building or purchase a bigger church or send missionaries out or give to the homeless. All these things that people look at, they cost money. And there's a great saying by Jay-Z that I live by, that I try to live by, and it says, I can't help the poor if I'm one of them, so I got rich and gave back. That's a win-win. There's times where people may need financial assistance and they hit this hard patch in their life. And most people, all they can say is that, hey, I'm going to pray for you. Well, I'm praying for myself. Not that I don't need your prayers, but right now my kids need some food. And that individual is unable to do it because they're just as poor as the individual that's seeking the help. And, you know, having an abundance of money allows you to do for others like nothing else will. Instead of tithing, $10 a week, maybe you could give $1,000 a week if you have it. When you achieve your goals of financial success, and that thousand can do more for people in need than that $10 ever will. So we have to get beyond. I know I was raised to think money is evil. Rich people are greedy. And it's not to say that some things along the line are not true. It's not to say I've met some very rich people that are very, very devious. But it's not everybody, and it don't have to be you. There's two things that bring out your true personality: money and alcohol. And people blame alcohol. Oh, well, I was drunk, that's why I did it. Whereas in reality, it's just who you are, and you're using it as an excuse. So if you're a person that likes to give and to help people, when you have more, you can give more. So I had to change my thoughts about what it is that money is. And I grew up my whole life thinking that, maybe there's only poor black Christians in heaven. And that's just not true. God made abundance for us to enjoy it and have it and give back to the kingdom. And I think it's against your whatever you believe in. It's against that to not achieve the things that are put within you. We were all. I've learned that inside every oak tree, inside every oak tree seed, there's an oak tree. So you have to plant it. That's where it comes from, sowing and reaping and things like that. So you're not going to plant an oak tree seed and get an apple tree. It's not going to happen. So if you can build something that can help people, that stereotype of being the greedy entrepreneur or the greedy rich person that only believes in hoarding money for themselves, that's only true about people who probably was like that before they ever made any money. So I know one of the gifts that I know I've been given, which I do with this podcast, I do with my training, I've done a whole time in my life. I believe I have a voice that can help people do things in their life that maybe they're hesitant to do, maybe they're afraid to do. And all these are from things that I've done in my life. I took it upon myself to aim to be a success and do the things and educate myself that allows me to walk that journey. Some people, go to church and tithe. Well, going to church and tithe, but you don't, in my opinion, I don't talk to anybody about their religion, but, if you can pick and choose your own sins, then, what's the point? And that's what a lot of people do. Do what's good for you. If that's what's good for you, then you do that. What's good for me, I've always helped a lot of troubled youth because I was a troubled youth. So I know where they're coming from and I know where they're going. And I'm really pretty good at that. And, so let's stay in our lane. Let's do what we're good at instead of trying to be everything people want us to be. So in order to achieve your goals, in order to achieve financial success, we must change our mindset and we must stop letting people tell us what we can and what we cannot do. They are speaking for themselves. They're not speaking for you. So trust me on this one. Having money is a good thing. I've never seen anybody argue about having too much money. I've seen them argue about having a lack of money. I've seen stress, depression, suicide of not having enough money. So never let anybody tell you that having abundance of money is wrong, because it's not. So let's get rid of the stinking thinking. Let's encourage each other. Let's pray for each other. And let's start living a life, because, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, we are not promised tomorrow. We can be gone tomorrow. And what footprint, what legacy are you going to leave on this earth? Is it going to be one of nothing, or is it going to be one of something? I'm trying to leave a legacy of something. So once again, that's what I'm saying. Don't have stinking thinking. Don't let others tell you what you can and cannot do. And that's my podcast for the day. And it's Sir Earl, and I'm checking out. Peace.